Hello and happy Wisdom Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in and for choosing to spend some of your time with me. I'm Maria Milagros. You're an incredible human being. And today we're going to talk about, as we wrap up the month of April and all of these changes that have been happening in our lives and this global pandemic that we've been dealing with and all of this stuff. I wanted to touch back on awareness as both a segue into next month and just a reminder for all of us. So this is the sign language sign for awareness. That's why that's what's in the picture, and it's like a tapping on your mind, right? Like on your temple. And if you know anything about EFT, emotional freedom techniques, like the tapping, this is a significant space anyways. So anyways, that's a whole sidebar. I wanted to give you 3 questions and then a process that you can take yourself through when the answer to your questions is no. So let me explain. The most important thing that we can do is make sure that we're constantly in a space where we are paying attention to who we are, to what we are thinking, speaking, and doing, and making sure that those things are in alignment with who we claim to be, or who we want to be, rather, because sometimes who we claim to be and who we want to be, very different things. And in that lack of congruency is where a lot of people find a struggle and headache and heartache and a bunch of other stuff. So the goal here is to be in a space where we're constantly questioning ourselves. We're constantly questioning where we are in terms of the thoughts that we allow to linger, the words that we continuously use, the actions that we take in our lives. So here are the 3 questions. 1, do my choices honor my core values? And if you don't know what your core values are, then this is an excellent time to figure out what those are for you. I would recommend about 5 to 7 at most, because anything more than that just doesn't feel sustainable and it feels really overwhelming. So figure out what are the 5 to 7 most important things to you. Like one of my core values is honesty. So I always check in with myself at the end of the day and say, did I operate from a space of honesty throughout the day? And not just in terms of my interactions with other people, but my interactions with myself. Was I honest with myself about what I wanted or didn't want, what I liked or didn't like, what I was doing to appease other people, or what I was doing to make sure that I was taking care of my health, my overall health, my happiness, my sanity, right? So we have to know what our core values are and then be willing to honor those. So the first question is, do my choices honor my core values? And I would recommend writing out those core values and then posting them somewhere and being able to constantly check in with yourself until it becomes a list that you can go anywhere and somebody says, hey, what are your core values? And you're like, right? You just kind of know what they are and you choose to operate from that place. So that's the first question. The second question is, do my decisions align with love, health, and peace? So we want to make sure that we are making decisions that are lined up with love. Because if I'm about to do something, or I make a decision to do something, and then I ask myself, is this decision aligned with love? And I'm like, girl, that's rooted in anger. You know it is. Not that anger is a bad thing, but because it does have an opportunity within anger for us to recognize the things that we want to change, spaces that we want to shift, places where we're being pulled and called to, that feel passionate to us, right? But we never want to operate from a place of anger, because that's usually ends up being no bueno for everyone across the board. So I can learn what I need to learn from my anger. And then when I make a decision, am I making a decision that is aligned with love? Is it aligned with being healthy? Is it aligned with peace? And I'm not just talking about healthy like eating vegetables. I'm talking healthy like, is this a healthy decision, right? Is this something that's going to contribute to my overall health, one of the many facets of my health in some way? Is this lined up with love? Is this going to lead me to more peace? Does this feel like peace? Am I making decisions that align with love, peace, and health? Okay. And then the third question is, do my actions support the life that I want and deserve? So if I say that I want, and this is not me specifically, but let's say I said that I want, a big house and I want a lot of rooms and I want a lot of money and a lot of stuff, right? Let's say that that was my want. Am I taking action that supports that dream, that want, right? Because I'll tell you this, if that's what you say you want, but then you're sitting around watching videos all day, you're not going to achieve that, right? I mean, unless you win the lotto, which could happen. That's real. But are your actions supporting the life that you say that you want and deserve? If you say you want a happy and healthy life, are you taking actions that support a happy and healthy life? Now, here's the other part of this for the process. If you answer yes, yes, my choices honor my core values. Yes, my decisions align with love, health, and peace. And yes, my actions support the life that I want and deserve, then proceed. By all means, please proceed. You are clear for passage, right? If you say no to any of those, well, here's a little process that I do. It's like a little 7-step process. The first thing is that we gently, I'm talking gently, be kind to yourself, gently acknowledge that you're not upholding your values, your desires, your dreams, and love. Gently acknowledge that, like, oh, I say that, but I'm not truly upholding that. Okay, I see that. And the reason why I say that is because it requires us to take responsibility, right? And then the more that we do that, the more that we become aware of when we're not doing that so that we can shift. The second thing I want you to do is take a few deep breaths. Like, seriously, pause and take a few deep breaths. And then remind yourself that the fact that you're even aware enough to ask yourself these questions and then to honestly say no is a big deal. That's a huge step. That's great. It's so delicious for someone like me who is a life coach and a speaker, and I want to help people cultivate a life of mindfulness and self-awareness, right? So this is really a huge step. You are aware, because there are a lot of people who are just kind of like going through life, complaining and whining, but they're not lining up with their core values or their dreams or the things that they say that they want, right? Their actions, decisions, their thoughts are not lining up. So the fact that you're even able to be aware, big deal. Give yourself a little bow, I did that, right? Okay, step 3, take a few more deep breaths, right? And you have to remind yourself that you are the one responsible for your life. This means that we have to be in a space of self-awareness enough to let go of everybody else out here. And stop saying it's that person's fault, it's that person's fault. It's my ex-husband, it's my kid's father, it's my kid's mother, it's my boss, it's my coworkers, it's the woman at the supermarket, it's the guy who drove down the street and he had a dog in his car. Like, we have a tendency to do that. It's them, it's them, it's them. No, it's not. All things start here. All things start here. All things start here. All things start here. It's like a little dance, right? So all things start here. And when we are taking those deep breaths first to bring ourselves down, and then we acknowledge, like, I am responsible. I'm the one. Okay. Then I have to check in with my core values. This is step number 4. I check in with my core values. What are they? When was the last time I reviewed them? When was the last time I was real with myself about living by my core values? Then I'm going to check in with my dreams and my desires. What are my dreams and my desires? What do I want and why do I want it, right? And a lot of times asking ourselves why helps us reformat the dream, because sometimes we realize why we want it and we're like, ooh, never mind, I don't want that anymore. I want this instead, right? So just being in a space where you're really being self-aware, awareness, and checking in with those things. Number 6 is check in with what does healthy and peaceful feel like and look like for you, because that's very different from the next person, the next person, the next person, right? I have a friend that she would much rather be at home chilling, laid back. Her peaceful time is like chilling, laid back, eat a little something, watch a little movie, right? In my peaceful time, I love working out. I enjoy those other things as well, but I have so much energy. That's who I am. If I try to tailor myself the way that she does it, I'm not being honest with myself. I'm not living my best life because I'm trying to do it the way someone else does it, right? We have to be aware of what does peace and health look like for me? What does that actually mean? What would that feel like? What would that look like? And then we start to design our dreams accordingly, right? And then the 7th thing that we do is that we pick one thing and we make a choice, a decision, or take an action according to that one thing. right? And I find that if we, the more that I personally practice this, the more that I teach this to my clients, and the more that they personally practice it, the more that they are more fulfilled in their lives. They find more fun. They find more ease. They find that the things that they desire and ask for start to come to them. And they're like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. I can't believe this is happening. Well, the reason why it's happening is because you're actually open to the delivery of it. Right? You're actually open to seeing it because you stopped complaining and whining and pointing the blame at other people. You've started taking responsibility in a very loving and kind, gentle way. And so you're allowing yourself to be open to new avenues of living, to new avenues of being, to new avenues of existing. So nothing out here is necessarily changing, but because of what's happening in here, and you're rooted in here, and you know who you are in here, you're all good. You find peace and ease and love and connection to your core values, and you find yourself moving more and more and living your dream. Here, it has to start here, right? So that's what I have for you. If you have some areas that you, in terms of awareness and mindfulness, or tips or things that you use, please share them. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. If you want to share it, I never have a problem with that. And as usual, I have nothing but love for you, and I'm sending you love and light. Love and light coming at you, coming at you, coming at you. My hope, my desire, my dream is that more and more people will start waking up and becoming more aware, especially in this time, of what makes us tick, who we are, what brings us to life, what makes us happy, what brings us peace, what health feels like, and then start living accordingly, right? That's really what Super Sparkly Everything is about. It's about the knowing and then the doing, so that we can bring those two things together and actually live accordingly. And then, then we're living. What? Then we're living. All right, I got nothing but love for you, baby. What? I got nothing but love for you, honey. Okay, I gotta go.